So we've actually developed a new initiative at Lilley Place. It's actually called the Hope Initiative. And HOPE is an acronym that stands for helping other people because everyone deserves to feel better. And the E at Lilley Place always stands for everyone deserves to feel better. In fact, that's our mission. But because of COVID-19, we've been looking at how we can support everyone, whether they have a mental health diagnosis or not. And we've come up with 5 additional E's. And we've actually released this. It's in the public domain. So people that perhaps aren't yet ready to reach out for support, they can start working on it. If they'd like more tailored intervention, they can reach out to us and we can help them. And those 5 additional E's of hope are to look at caring for yourself and your mental health because it's essential, to look to ways to energize, to then look at our engagement, our connectedness. And I think we're realizing just how important that is if we perhaps underestimated that in the past. Helping people then to endure, to develop strategies and routines and a mindset, the way people are thinking, so that they are able to be resilient and get through this, so that ultimately, even though things have changed, they can adapt and they can evolve and they can find a new way to move forward with confidence. And that's our HOPE program, and it's on our website. And so listeners could have a look at that as a starting point and start to think about ways they could perhaps weave those E's into their current day and as each week as we move through this crisis. So we're all about helping regain and maintain hope.
Yeah, that's fantastic. What a great initiative. And how's the feedback been going with the initiative, and how's the feedback been going just with generally, I guess, with all the different services that you've been offering?
Peter, the initial feedback is really encouraging. It's really positive. People are loving having something that's really practical, that's evidence-based, that they can implement themselves, that they can help their loved ones implement, and that it can cut through all the noise that's out there, all that information. It's almost information overload. And they go, right, I've got a framework, I've got a few things I can hook my strategies on, and I can move forward. So the initial feedback's really positive. I guess our biggest challenge now is actually sharing hope, increasing that awareness, because everyone deserves to feel better, regardless of what challenge it is that they're facing at this point in time.
Yeah, that's a fantastic program, and it's so good to have you here today. Wow, we're certainly kicking some goals today, aren't we, Andrea, with the panelists? Well done on bringing such 2 great panelists together already.
Yeah.
So look, thank you so much, Peter, for sharing where the business is at, sharing the actual practical program that you've actually got in place where people can go if they're feeling that, they may not just be themselves, or they're just looking to take their game to the next level. You don't necessarily have to be bad. You might just be going, you know what, I'm at this stage and I want to get to that stage. Why don't I try and adopt some of these things that you're offering through the HOPE program? And before long, they might get clearer and more energized and be able to engage on a whole nother level. So it's not just for people who are struggling. It could be for anyone who's looking to take their game to that next level.
Absolutely.
But actually, there's an analogy, isn't there, Peter? There's an analogy that you use that sort of, I guess, really encompasses the whole HOPE initiative. Do you want to share that? Because I think it's great.
I would love to. Thank you, Andrea. I love Andrea's enthusiasm and encouragement. We've been talking about how we don't want to be the ambulance at the bottom of the cliff. We want to be more like the fencing contractor at the top of the cliff, working to prevent the next development or the next pandemic that we see coming, which is a pandemic characterized by stress and mental health difficulties and educational gaps. So we're looking to provide those services earlier, sooner, rather than later. And if you think about it, that's what HOPE is as well. So yeah, that's our analogy. We want to be the fencing contractor at the top of the cliff.
Yeah, that's fantastic, and what a great philosophy to employ in this situation. Get some help early, because the earlier you get help, and I'm sure you get this feedback a lot, because I used to run a coaching business, not psychologically based, but I used to find that my new clients, 50% of the success was just the fact when they actually found someone that was willing to kind of sit down and listen to them and help them define their problems and maybe build a bit of a roadmap so they could start to see things for what they were and maybe not bigger than what they are. Is that the kind of case that you get once people actually reach out and they speak to your dedicated team who kind of help them to create a roadmap? Like half the problem suddenly, just you feel lighter straight away. Has that been your experience as well?
Yeah, Peter, that's a lot of the experience. I find that most people have incredible skills and strengths, and it's actually helping them tap into what's already there and then provide them with that roadmap to move forward. They're the ones that are doing all the hard work. We're just working with them to tap into those strengths and that reservoir of their resources to move forward. And that old adage of a problem shared is a problem halved. Having someone that can work with you in an objective way and give you some evidence-based strategies that are tailored to your circumstance can make a really big difference. And half the work's then done, really. People are on their way and they're starting to feel energized and better already.
Yeah, that's fantastic. So if anyone's out there who wants to lift their game to the next level, or they have a friend who might be struggling a little bit, or they may be struggling themselves, make sure you reach out and connect with Lilley Place and the expert team there, and you'll be well on the road to a brighter, thriving life on the other side of this. So thank you so much for joining us, Peter.